Coach, this is the second year of the NBA Cup. What did you guys learn about how you went into it last year that you will take away to going into tonight?
Well, one, it is another home game for us initially. So we talk about taking care of home, that being the #1 priority. But then last year, we started off against Brooklyn. We didn't get off to a great start in that moment, and then the point differential became a issue and a situation. But we still want to play our style of basketball and do the things that we're capable of doing night in and night out. But knowing there's going to be a different energy, different floor, and the stakes are a little higher in these moments for the league itself.
You just mentioned the different floor. It seems like the courts were a little slippier last year compared to the regular courts. Is that something you guys talked about? And how different is that floor? Is that challenging at all?
No, I don't think so. I think it was different in different arenas. I think it depended on what was underneath the surfaces in a lot of those places. I think our group and our crew over at Kia did a fantastic job for our floors for the most part.
Have you guys practiced on it or anything, or is tonight just going to be your first night?
This night is our first night on it, but we'll be okay.
I know one of the issues last year was the point differential, was one of the tiebreakers. Was that, and there were some things that happened during the course of the year that didn't sit well with some players, or just was part of the competition. Was that something that you guys discussed as coaches about how to handle that better this year? Knowing that it's just part of the tie-breaking procedure.
Well, we talked about it some as coaches over the summer, but I think that the reality and the rule of that is if you know the rules of the game, you play by those rules of that game in these moments. And so understanding that, if it doesn't go your way, you don't complain about it. If it does go your way, you keep going. And I think those are the realities of what this tournament does and is, and that's okay. But as long as we know the rules, we play by them and do our job to make sure we take care of home.
How is Wendell doing?
He's doing well. He's doing slowly progressing.
Today is Paolo's 22nd birthday. How is he doing?
He's doing well. 22 years old for what he's done and where he is just as a young man, but also in this league as a player. For him to do all the things he's done as a 22-year-old is pretty darn special and spectacular.
Do you have to remind him at all sometimes that, hey, you are just now 22 today, or?
No. I think he's so mature in his ways. He's got an old soul, and the way in which he approaches the game, the way in which he approaches life, his responsibility level. He understands that and he takes that on. But sometimes it is a little bit surprising that he's just 22, not in just the things that he's done on the court, but the way that he carries himself off the court as well. And I think it says something about him, the way he was raised, where he's from. All those things mean so much to him, and that's what he represents every single day.
Rod's developed as a defender since he arrived?
I think he just continues to step up. I think 2 years ago, I believe it was the summer over with the German team. I think he took on that challenge just to become a better perimeter defender, guard multiple positions, and he's willing to take on that challenge night in and night out.
What are you seeing out of this Hornets team under Charles and how they're playing?
I think Charles has done an absolutely fantastic job with that group. And it feels like a broken record that I'm saying this, but they're another team that's going to play fast. They're going to shoot a lot of threes, and we've got to make sure we get back in transition. Our offense has to make sure we take care of the basketball, and then offensively also we've got to make sure we take the right shots and step into the ones when we're open. But defensively, it is another transition and take out the three game.
I won't ask how Tristan's singing voice was for Paolo's birthday, but what's impressed you about the way he stepped into the starting lineup and kind of helped stabilize things since Paolo's been out?
I was just asked that question a moment ago about between he and also like Anthony Black in the early part of their rookie year being able to step into these moments. Number one, it says a ton about Jeff Weltman and his crew and their group of what they've done and who they bring in and how they bring them in. But the second part is that these guys are mature enough to know when their number is called that they're ready to go and they're ready to play, and our coaches do a great job of having them ready to go.
I know he's older than he's older than Paolo. He's older than some of the players on this team who have more experience than him. But how do you kind of manage him still being a rookie and still learning this league? What's kind of like the responsibility or the kind of goal that you want him to have when he's out there?
Well, one, he went to Colorado, so he's okay.
Yeah.
Two, I like to see, and we like to see the fact that they're just ready for any moment. And it goes back to what our coaches do. They do such a tremendous job of preparing these guys for scenarios, for situations. And he's seen them. He's seen winning at different levels. So his ability to be a pro night in, night out is exactly what we're asking of him. And he's done a great job of that.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Tristan, as you look at your group's last couple wins, what have you seen as kind of the commonalities and things that you want to continue heading into tonight?
Yeah, just making sure our defense is set. Playing the way we're supposed to play, focusing on us, making sure we make the right adjustments, make the right plays out there, and just play with hella energy.
Was there a point during the game that you've been able to start and really play in that you kind of realized how much more comfortable you were getting, and when you realized, like, okay, the game was slowing down for you a little bit more?
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of comfortable right from the jump in the Cleveland game, and I've been feeling the same way ever since. So it's been really fun being out there with the guys, especially in that starting lineup. Obviously gives it a little more special. But yeah, I'm at the end of the day, it's still the same game we always play, so still locked in.
Anthony Black played a lot during his rookie year last year, and obviously a lot of these other guys that are a little bit around the same age as you have played as their rookie year. What have they told you throughout this process?
No, I mean, you got to stay ready. You never know what happens. I wasn't really playing the first couple games, and all of a sudden I'm in the starting lineup, and that's what they told me since I think summer league. So that's been really helpful. And I kind of saw that become true.
From your perspective on the court, how is Franz handling the lead role of the offense?
I mean, you can see it. I feel like it's pretty obvious. He's playing a great game right now, and looks really comfortable out there. And we're trying to put him in the best positions possible. Make sure that he makes the right plays for us, because he, more often than not, does that.
You're a pretty calm and composed guy. Do you feel like you've had what was kind of the moment where you were like, oh, I belong here. Like I can hang with these guys. I can play and do my thing at this level.
Yeah, I mean that comes back to being comfortable out there. That was pretty early on. So, obviously there's still teams I haven't played against. There's still stuff to experience, I guess. But I'm looking forward to it all.
What part of the NBA life are you enjoying most?
Just the amount of basketball, you just play, and you don't really have to worry about anything else. No school, no classes you got to attend after practice. I think that's fun.
Is the NBA Cup, you guys, something to talk about, or you just focus on the day-to-day more?
Wait, say that again?
Is the NBA Cup, tonight's an in-season tournament?
Oh, yeah.
Is that something you guys even talk about, or how do you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely adds a little bit to that game. So, I got to make sure you handle business.
Does it feel different with it being a tournament-type game versus, a regular season game?
I mean, yeah, it's marked on the calendar for sure. So that's every single game matters in that tournament. So we got to make sure we handle business.
What have your teammates told you about them playing in it last year, going into the second year of it?
Some of them I think said it feels like kind of like the playoffs already early on. It's really important you, as I said, handle business. Make sure take care.
For you, growing up in Germany, I think for us in America, like these kind of in-season tournaments aren't something that our sports really do. Does it feel a little bit more normal, or do you can draw on some experience on how to kind of manage? I know it still counts as a regular game. It's kind of a weird,
right.
It's different than what you see in Europe. But does that add a little familiarity to things and how to approach a game like tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing college basketball for the past 4 years, so I mean. It's not like I've been out there in the EuroLeague and German Cup and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody's familiar with that system. It's just, the NBA has changed that in the last couple of years. So.
What are your thoughts on the court? Have you seen the photos?
I think I've seen it on Instagram. It looks good. I like it.
Have you played on the court where it's like more unique color like that before?
I played at Oregon, so yeah.
Speaking of college basketball, you get to play against one of your teammates from last year tonight, KJ Simpson. What's your relationship like with him, and does that add anything to this match?
Yeah, I texted him. I texted him yesterday if he's on Orlando already, but he's out there with the G League right now, so he's not. He didn't travel with them, unfortunately. But I was trying to see him. I think the next one that I'm playing against is Cody, so I'm looking forward to that one too.
Thanks, Tristan.